Good morning, Sava here from Sava Talks Football. By the time you'll be hearing this, it will be the afternoon. This is not live. Please join in. Let me know your thoughts, as this is my daily thought. So, what happened yesterday? So, Tottenham Hotspur at home to Sporting Lisbon with the chance to qualify for the next stage of the Champions League. As always, Spurs have done it the hard way. So when we look at Tottenham Hotspur at the moment, this is just yet, for me, another disappointing performance in line with Newcastle, in line with Man United, Arsenal, many games, but Frankfurt, Sporting before that. It's starting to become a pattern now that it doesn't feel like we're in bad form. It just feels like this is our norm. It's norm versus form. And I feel like this is just how we play. This is what we do now. I can't say I'm surprised at the result. I did predict a draw before the game. The usual suspects were in the chat yesterday going, 3-0, 4-1, 4-0. We're going to batter these. These are crap. They're only in the Portuguese league. And to be fair, I thought they were decent. I thought they were very good in the first half, especially. And I thought in the second half, they really hung on in there, I suppose. It was a very strange game. Again, we came out the blocks very slowly. No real plan to try and win a game. It was all very much sit back, dig deep, typical Conte football, which, as you know, I cannot stand. And it was mundane. It was boring. It was, what were we trying to do? Our wing backs weren't getting forward. Lucas Moura wasn't in the game. Heung-min Son just looks... Heung-min Son... Remember that quote was, "This is Dele's brother." I feel like we've got Son's brother playing at the moment because this is not a good player at the moment. This is not a guy who looks in any way, shape or form a top footballer. It's not just his finishing, it's his all-round game. I thought Harry Kane, again, he had to drop so deep to get the ball. A couple of times he got the ball and tried to thread it through. It didn't work. He's not looking great either. Got his goal, but we'll come back to that later. Let's be really honest, okay? I'm really confused as to how we set up. I'm really concerned that we start games against teams that we should be beaten at home. No disrespect to them. They're a good outfit. But this is Tottenham Hotspur. We've got some real good attacking talent. We should be going at teams. But again, I'm sorry, and I know people don't want to hear it. They want to say it's just the players' fault. But Conte has set us up again to be defensive and to try not to lose. And in the first half, they picked us off at will. Their tactics were brilliant. They hit us on the counter. They played a similar formation to us, made it work better. They were effective. They were sharper in the final third. They were sharper on the counter-attack. And then for their goal, which I thought was thoroughly deserved because it had been coming, Marcus Edwards played the 1-2 on the halfway line. Højbjerg looked very weak, very poor in there. Should have stopped that. Edwards, he drove forward. And you're thinking to yourself, right, Romero, step out, make that tackle. Step out, close him down. Romero, do something. Romero, step back. And if you show players of that quality enough space, they will punish you. And Marcus Edwards did and showed us why we should not have let this guy go out of the club years ago. That's another story. So, after that, I thought they had a couple more chances. They could have really put the game to bed by half-time. They had a couple of chances that they should have scored. Lloris had a few good saves as well. But it just felt like we just weren't trying to play football. We weren't trying to attack. And then this is why I tell you that it is Antonio Conte and not the players. Because in the second half, all of a sudden, the tempo goes up and we did attack. Now, there's two sides to this. Is this because they retreated? Did they regress enough that they camped on the edge of their own box to hit us on the counter-attack? Or did we force them back? Now, there's two different things there. So maybe a bit of both. But it showed in that second half. We can move the ball quickly. We can move it at a tempo. And we looked much better. But again, why are we starting so slow? Why are we starting so negatively? So for me, I feel like there's got to be, a lot of questions asked of Antonio Conte's tactics. even his subs, we're taking off an attacking player in Lucas Moura, putting on a defensive player in Emerson Royale. Longley had to come on for Davis, and you're thinking, why are we bringing on defenders for defenders? Like, what's going on? We looked better in the second half. We did have a lot of chances. Eric Dyer should have scored at least, I want to say 3, but at least 1 or 2 he should have scored. And kudos. I mean, someone who's taken a lot of stick, Brian Hill, actually, I thought came on and looked good. He looked sharp. And you know what he does that most of our players don't do? He gets the ball and he goes forward. His first thought is always, how can I drive forward? Whether that be through the middle, down the channels. I'd give him some games. I think we're at that stage now where we can't just sit here anymore and say he's not good enough, he's not strong enough. He gets the ball, he wants it, he's not afraid. Typical Spanish player. He's not afraid to collect the ball under pressure, to take it, to run with it. He doesn't mind trying to ride a tackle. He doesn't mind being tackled. Some wayward crossing from Brian Hill, but I thought in the main, I thought he got on the ball and looked really, really good. I don't feel like anyone can have a go at him after that. Much more effective than Lucas. He did more than Son did. I think he did more last night than Son's done most of the season, apart from a 15-minute cameo against Leicester. Now, before anyone has a go at me, I'm not saying he's a better player than Heung-min Son. I'm just saying, what have we got to lose by giving Brian Hill a chance at the moment? Anyway, then comes the equaliser, which I think was deserved. And then comes the moment which has allowed all Spurs fans to completely forget how bad we play. That has completely allowed Antonio Conte to have his ready-made excuse, the VAR decision. Now, this is a case of not VAR, but VAR being used wrong. First and foremost, does anyone know the rules anymore? I mean, what's happened to football? I could sit here and moan about VAR all day long. I think it's dreadful. My first thought when the ball went in was that he was offside, which is why I didn't really celebrate it. My first thought was it was offside. My second thought was, how on earth has Emerson Royale got that header so badly wrong? You're thinking go that way and it's gone back that way. And then you've got the whole issue of, and let's talk about this calmly, right? Because look, VAR and the handball rule, the offside rule, all of these rules now, no one seems to know explicitly what the answer is. There's 2 ways of looking at this. First and foremost, was Harry Kane offside? Yes, he was. Second of all, it's the interpretation of when the ball is at the defender. My understanding is was it a deliberate action to force the ball to the forward? Now, I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm not a referee. All I know is it's a complete farce. It's a mess. We've seen them given. We've seen them not given. I'd love VAR to go. But what I won't do as a fan, like most others will, I won't sit here and blame another really timid, poor performance on VAR. It's all well and good Antonio Conte showing that passion and getting sent off and all of that kind of stuff. But those antics don't really take away from how poor his management has been. Now, people will sit here and say to me, yeah, but we're third and we're top of the Champions League group. Yeah, but when you look at the Champions League group, we've won 2 of the 5 games. We've looked poor in most of them. The league position is going to start to plummet if we don't get our acts together. And the football is just awful. So, listen, it's all going to be, this is all going to be resolved by the end of the season. But certainly in the next 4 or 5 games, just before the World Cup starts, we're going to start to see, where are we? After 15, 16 league games, where are we? And I think we will be just outside the top 4. I think that the Chelseas, the Man Uniteds, the Arsenals, the Man Cities will have too much. Newcastle are a danger. And I think Liverpool will slowly but surely rise up that table. So I don't feel that Conte should be getting away with this. We know the main problem is Levy. We know the main problem is Enoch. But 2 things can be true at once. And for me, this football is awful. It was one of the worst 45 minutes of football I've ever seen at the beginning of that game. And then that leaves us chasing our tails. And I'm not surprised anymore. It's becoming the norm, right? I mean, you guys tell me, let me know your thoughts. This is becoming the norm for Tottenham. This is how we play. So for me, a lot needs to change. I've already said many times, I don't think he'll be our manager next season. I think there's a reason he's not signed a contract. I think that he could probably do a lot of favours to shut people up like me by signing a contract. All of these cryptic kind of messages about, oh, now's not the right time, or we'll find the right moment. And you're thinking, well, hang on, if you're truly here for the project, you're talking about 3-4 windows, Antonio, why are you not signing a contract? So that for me is a bit baffling. But all in all, I'm not prepared to let the VAR decision take away. I don't think we deserved the win. I think that we've left ourselves with a lot of work to do. And now we're in a group where Marseille are bottom with 6, we're top with 8, and then the other 2 teams on 7. Anyone in this group can go through at the moment, anyone. So what I know is we've got to go and win. We could possibly get through with the draw, but we've got to go and, for me, we can get through with a draw, but for me, we've got to go and try and win because we're not good enough to hold on to a draw. So all in all, not the worst result in the world, but again, another poor performance from Antonio Conte's men. We played Bournemouth at the weekend. God knows what's going to happen there. I just don't know anymore with regards to predicting. Please give me your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Please like, please subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to do a show at 4 p.m. with Brian Daigle from Tottenham on Tour called Savart and Daigle's Friday Huddle, where we'll be talking all things ENIC and Levy. So you won't want to miss that. And then I will see you over the weekend for my brand new show, The Spurs Review. So please like, please subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll speak to you very soon. Take care, guys and girls. See you later.